We here at Two Tenderfoot Tourists would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a spectacular New Year.
We wish you safe travel, good food, and time with the ones you love.
Don't be a cotton-headed ninny-muggins.
Always remember,
Never forget.
stay tender.
Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Sandy, and we're Two Tenderfoot Tourists. Welcome to episode 71, the one about the best of Two Tenderfoot Tourists, 2018. This was a really fun episode.
It was a really fun trip.
It was. We planned for quite a while, and we also went with Mom and Charlie, my parents.
Yeah.
And it was just a great time overall. But I think this episode, didn't we focus primarily on one of our favorite things?
Oh, food. All the way.
Food.
Hey,
Good and bad.
well, you know, it's so funny we had to go all the way to Colorado to experience good Italian food.
I don't think I've ever had Italian food that good,
It was really, really good.
other than maybe my lasagna, but that's beside the point.
And then we had to go all the way to Colorado to experience very, very bad Mexican food, too.
Yes, we did. It
So-
almost ruined you.
It really almost ruined me. I let everybody know I have started to eat
Mexican
food.
again,
Yeah.
yes.
So, this was an excellent, I can see why people enjoyed it, especially if there is someone out there who's interested in going to Colorado and visiting and enjoying Colorado. We had a lot to contribute in this episode.
Right. And I mean, where they did not make the top 3, the other 2 episodes for Colorado Oh Wow also made the top 10. So obviously it was one that people were interested in, that
Oh, yeah.
topic. So be sure and listen to all 3.
We're not-
They're really very interesting and
They are very
entertaining.
and entertaining. We're not the only ones that like food, apparently.
True. Well, and of course,
Yeah.
mountains and animals and
And,
girls screaming and being weird in the car and,
That was so much fun.
Yeah, it
I
was
really
fun.
wish I could relive it, except for the hailstorm.
switchback.
Switchback! Yeah, you listen to the episode, you'll know what we're talking about.
Now, enjoy.
Enjoy. If anybody out there has been listening or following our Facebook and our Instagram, we've been posting pictures of our vacation to Colorado.
Right, and we have tons more to get out there. We've got lots of editing to do and
A lot of
weeding
video
out
editing.
I'm weeding out of photos that aren't so good. I'm a believer in take a million and find what ones are good. So,
That's very professional of you.
but we had a great time. There's
Oh,
no way
man.
around it. I mean, we have things to tell about, from hailstorms to
Oh yeah, hailstorms.
food experiences to oh wow.
Oh wow.
So it's going to be a good time.
It is going to be a good time. And you know what? In fact, we're looking at this as possibly a 3-part series just because of the fact there is so much information that we need to disseminate.
Right.
Basically.
There will definitely be 2 episodes on this, but probably 3.
Probably 3.
We're so excited and we want to share everything we can imagine sharing with you.
Right. So, you know what? If anybody's listened to us for any length of time, you know that our any location can, most locations that we go to, you can like sum it up to how their food. How are their food?
Yeah, it's a food thing.
Oh my goodness.
And food can make or break an experience. I mean, it really can.
It can.
For example, we took my mom
Yes.
and my stepfather, who are just, okay, Charlie's the cutest man in the world. He is adorable. He's, as my niece said, who is our niece on Steve's side.
Yeah.
She got to go with us and she got to know my mom and my stepfather, and she kept saying, Charlie always smiles.
Always
He's
smiling.
He's
always
so
been
cute.
like
He's
that.
always smiling. He has always been like that. And he's just the nicest guy ever. But it was really special taking my parents. Well, even when we had decent experiences with food this time,
Yeah.
almost every time we went somewhere, something went wrong with theirs.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my goodness.
And we're going to share those experiences with you.
Right.
There are places that are just so awesome to eat at.
And we will tell you all about
Oh
that.
my goodness. So, just listen to what we talk about. You make your own decision. And
Right.
Then,
And I'm going to say right at the beginning, we said we loved Colorado. It was hard to leave.
it was very hard
It
to
was
leave.
so hard to leave.
So, anyway, make a long story short, I think we can get started here, you know. You know what? We did mention food. Let's talk about the best experience of food that we had in the 5 days ever.
I mean, we talked about Biloxi and how wonderful for all of their food was that we had there, and we don't want to make that anything small. Mm-hmm. But I have never, first of all, eaten at an Italian restaurant that was this good. No. But I would say it's probably my best restaurant experience ever on a vacation. Ever. The service and the food combined was the best experience we have ever had. And we've eaten at a lot of restaurants. The
ambiance was nice too.
We're telling you our favorite right off the bat. And just know this didn't happen until we had been there 4 days.
Yeah.
3 or 4 days. And we
ate there on a Tuesday.
And
because it was your mom's birthday,
right? And she doesn't eat much pasta because my stepdad, he hates noodles, so she never gets pasta. And we try to take her for pasta on her birthday when we do dinner with her on her birthday. And we sought out a specific restaurant. We didn't know what we wanted to go to, and we researched it.
Yeah.
And you found this little restaurant.
In old Colorado City.
Yes, it's just a little tiny town, and it's the cutest little area anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And we had no idea what we were in for. It's called That's Italian. That's DATS Italian. Right. And we walked through the door of this place, and immediately I looked around and I just said, I really love this place.
We were greeted by Dennis. He is the husband, owner.
He and his wife own this place.
Yeah, Joanne and Dennis are the owners of this restaurant. So we were greeted by one of the owners.
Right.
So that right there meant a lot to us too, for one. And he was extremely courteous. I mean, he was just a delightful person to meet.
I started to say he was very relaxed. He was very laid back, friendly. A little bit ornery, just enough to make him interesting.
Okay, so you want to tell him about when he was taking our order?
Oh, yeah, he starts taking our order, and I can't remember. I think it was Andy Williams came on.
No, I want to say it was Tony.
Oh, Tony Bennett.
Yeah, Tony Bennett.
Well,
I think that's what it was.
There was some pretty Italian sound and music coming around there.
You got Frank Sinatra, and you got Dean Martin.
Dino, yeah. But a song came on, and in the middle of taking our order, he just kind of turned his head, and then he goes, "I'm sorry, please forgive me. I might get distracted during this song."
It was awesome,
and we just like, okay, this guy is great.
Yeah.
But he was just so friendly, and the way he kept teasing the girls about dessert. And how he acted like he accidentally brought dessert to Olivia and then kind of took it in front of her nose and walked away and said, "Oh, sorry," and walks to go take it back
just
over.
Being very playful.
Yeah, he was a blast.
Was awesome.
And very excited about taking our order. And like Charlie, since he doesn't eat pasta, he was getting their chicken Caesar salad.
Which looked amazing.
Well, and then he told us, that it was authentic.
Yeah.
And that he gave Charlie the opportunity to taste the dressing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Joanne came out and brought Charlie the dressing and let him taste. They were just so laid back.
Yeah.
And fun, and the food was incredible.
It was very good.
And you got too much, and you about tried to make yourself explode.
Well, Dennis, he goes, "How's the food?" And I go, "Well, I'm crying." And he goes, "You're crying?" And I go, "Yeah, because I know I'm not going to be able to finish this." I'm so sad. And he just started laughing. So yeah, we got to, we talked to Dennis for a while and when he came by the table.
Right.
And then Joanne came by, and also whenever she was talking to, Charlie and everything about the Caesar salad or Caesar dressing. Everything that they have there is made from their family recipes.
Right.
Everything is. In fact, you know what? We could just play the,
you want to play their commercial?
Yeah, we just play their commercial.
That's Italian. That's named after my husband, the love of my life. I am the main chef of the restaurant. It's my recipes, my mother's recipes, my grandmother's recipes, my great-grandmother's recipes. We work hard to make it authentic and genuine. And the thing is, food is love and love is food, right? That's how we look at it. We love to feed you, and we love...
It is gratifying to have someone tell you that they had a wonderful dining experience here.
Taste the flavor of our family.
Dennis, we had an amazing dining experience.
Yes, we did. And the thing is, let's be honest, they had a terrible time, Mom and Charlie had, when it came to their dining experiences. So they were coming in kind of like judgy and ready to roll.
Yeah, they were.
And they were grinning.
Yeah. They met the challenge.
Oh, yeah, they did. And Mom was so thrilled. She was so thrilled to have good Italian food. And such a great time. And it was so funny because as we were leaving, we were talking to them, and they, Joanne hugged every single one of us.
That was awesome.
And she hugged my mom when she came out of the bathroom because she went to the bathroom while we were all leaving and going up front. And my mom comes around the corner and she grabbed her and hugged her and told her happy birthday.
That says, happy birthday.
So, it just made my mom's day, and every one of us were talking about it for hours.
Yeah. Okay, so, I mean, where can you find That's Italian? If you're going to be in this Colorado Springs area or the Manitou Springs area, they are just like a few minutes down from Garden of the Gods, in the old Colorado City. And their address is 2514 West Colorado Avenue, Suite 102. So you need to walk down there and just check them out.
Right. And don't be detoured by the fact that maybe you might have a hard time finding parking out front. All you have to do is turn and drive back behind the building.
Right.
And there's parking.
Yep. Plenty of parking.
Free parking.
Free parking. And you know how hard that is to find nowadays.
Right. And I wanted to point out, something. In her commercial, she says that That's Italian is named after her husband.
Yeah, explain that. I think that's fascinating.
It is such a cute idea. It's guys, if you listen to this, we are so sorry if we butcher your name. We tried so hard to remember how to pronounce it, so I hope we get it. I believe the last name is Trujillo. If we messed that up, I'm so sorry. We have been practicing and we were pretty sure we messed up. But
we try so hard.
Anyway, his name is Dennis Trujillo. Mm-hmm. I'm not positive what his middle name is, but the point is that D-A-T are his initials.
Right.
And that's why they called it That's Italian. And to top that off, she is Brooklyn Italian.
Right.
Dennis is Spain Spanish.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So when they named it, first of all, with Joanne being Brooklyn Italian, she can't pronounce her THs.
His middle name's Anthony, by the way.
Ah, there it is. But she can't pronounce the THs, so saying That's Italian wouldn't work anyway for her to say it. It was still going to be Dats.
Right.
So, since it was his initials and how she pronounces it, they called it That's Italian. I thought that was a cute thing. I mean, that's great. It's so personal and quaint. I love it.
Well, I mean, you got a lot of personal things going on with this restaurant. You have family recipes. You have a family-run business.
Right, and they have like 8 kids.
They have 8 kids.
And their kids work there. And other people work there too, but their kids work there.
Right.
It's just really great. It was the whole package.
It was the whole package.
If you go there, if you have time, you have to try it. It will be worth your time.
Totally.
It's not like you're going to pay McDonald's prices. But you pay for what you get.
And
you get great service, great atmosphere, and amazing food.
Yeah, you will not be disappointed. No disappointment.
And the portion sizes are large.
Oh, they are large. That is true.
It's like they're feeding family.
You can split a plate, but they do.
Right. There's a slide up charge.
There is a
for
slide
splitting
up
a plate,
but it's well worth it.
Right. It totally is worth it.
Their food is amazing. Oh, so good. That's Italian. You know what?
Italian.
You really must check it out in Colorado, old Colorado City.
Yes.
If
you go, tell them Two Tenderfoot Tourists sent you.
Yeah, tell them Steve and Sandy from Two Tenderfoot Tourists sent you. Yeah, let them know that we're giving them the thumbs up.
And
the
that
seal
Steve's
of approval.
still crying because he didn't get to finish his food.
I didn't finish my food. Why, Dennis? Why? So anyway, thank you, Joanne and Dennis for making us feel so welcome there and
the best
feeding
dining
us.
experience I've ever had.
The best by far. They've set a bar so high right now.
Yep.
Everybody's just.
Yeah. From now on, we're going to say, well, that's right below That's Italian. Or that's 5 steps below That's Italian. This is how we gauge things now.
Yeah, it's kind of like Orange Beach.
I'm sorry, world.
It's kind of like Orange Beach. It's like that's the standard right now that we compare all the other beaches with. It's not quite Orange Beach level good.
That's right. Okay, we got to get moving. We could talk about them all day. We might.
We might, if you let us.
So, another good experience we had
Yes.
was the Airplane Restaurant.
Okay, so Airplane Restaurant. Now, we mentioned this on the Colorado Bazaar.
Yes, the Bazaar, Colorado.
And we had the opportunity to go eat there.
We did. And frankly, I mean, I thought it was good food.
It was gimmicky.
Yes.
As far as like the decor and the suits or the uniforms that the employees had, and the way they greeted you at the door.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's neat, and they have a lot of different, their decorations are really cool to look at.
I like the memorabilia and the museum pieces, if you will.
Right. And even if you don't dine inside the actual body of the airplane, you can go walk through it.
Right.
And that was really cool.
Actually go up into the cockpit.
Right.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really cool thing they were able to do.
Yeah. I mean, part of the wing is inside the actual, we sat underneath the wing when we ate in that restaurant. And, when you go into the restroom, you hear it sounds like planes flying overhead and stuff.
That is the strangest thing when you're sitting there going to the bathroom and all of a sudden it's like you're sitting right next where a plane's flying. Yeah, taking off or it's like, what is going on here?
How did I end up at the Whiteman Air Force Base again?
It was funny. It was so funny.
But yeah.
Well, what was really funny is when Mom and Charlie are the ones that told us, and you and I are both like, I'm going to the bathroom.
I gotta go. All of a sudden I just have this urge. But, that's funny. But yeah, the Airplane Restaurant. Okay, so, now the food was not disappointing.
Right, it was good.
It was good. It was good food. Good. I had the Reuben. Now they gave an option of having buffalo corned beef on there, and I chickened out and I didn't have it. But the Reuben, I mean, it was a really good Reuben sandwich.
Well, and I'll tell you something worth telling them about. You told the girl you were sad that you didn't take the chance.
Yeah,
I wondered if there was a chance for you to just taste the corned beef from the buffalo, just to see.
Yeah.
And she brought you some, and you were able to taste that, and we all tried a little piece of it, and it was really good.
It was really actually pretty good. I was kind of saddened that I didn't try it. We had everybody at the table pretty much trying.
Guys, a good restaurant, a really good restaurant, will bring you little bits of stuff to taste.
And make you sad.
They won't do everything there. Well, can I taste this now? But Dad's Italian, bringing the dressing out so Charlie could taste it before he put it on his salad.
I was actually envious of his salad. I love chicken Caesar
beautiful,
salad.
And there was so much he couldn't eat it all.
Oh my goodness. Have you mentioned Dad's Italian?
Yeah, did we mention Dad's Italian? Okay. The Airplane Restaurant.
Yeah, the Airplane Restaurant.
They did the same type of thing though, as far as allowing you to taste something that you were just like, that's good service.
Yeah.
So we kind of liked it.
Yeah, this restaurant, by the way, I don't know if we mentioned, it's in Colorado Springs.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say that part.
Yeah, we're in Colorado Springs with that one.
But I thought our waitress was really nice.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought a decent experience. It was a good experience.
The burgers, from what I was told, are really good.
Yeah, I had a mushroom Swiss.
You did.
And it was really good. And the girls, they split a meal.
Right.
And then got extra sweet potato fries with it. But they got the chicken teriyaki sandwich.
Right.
And they loved it.
Yes.
They said it was wonderful. So, I mean, I thought the food was good.
Okay, what do you think about the pricing though?
For what you get, okay, if you go vacation food.
Right. It's about average.
Pretty average. I couldn't complain too much about it. If it was just local, I'd say a little high for what you get, but it was still good. And like I said, we expected vacation prices, so we were okay.
Right.
Anything else about the Airplane Restaurant?
No, that's about it. I thought it was a good experience. I didn't think it was a bad experience though.
It was fun.
Charlie and Donna, they didn't really get the best experience, but you know what?
Well, and I will, and we don't have to get into that. It was just an error. It wasn't a big deal. And the waitress put it right.
She did.
And she was eager to put it right. So I have to still brag on her that she did what was best. And, like we said, weird things happen to them at restaurants where their orders somehow get screwed up.
Even at fast food, it doesn't matter where it's at.
It doesn't matter. It always happens. They even went to Burger King by themselves one of the days we were gone.
Yeah.
When we split our separate ways. And they accidentally gave their food to somebody else, so they had to wait for them to make their food all over again.
Like, I
don't know what it is about these two people, but anyway, they terrified us when we took them to Dad's Italian because we were afraid that it wouldn't be good enough for them.
That's true. I blame the high altitude. I blame everything on the high altitude.
I kind of do too, and we will not Well, we probably will talk about everything, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, we may.
Let's just say it affects everything.
Everything.
Okay. Something else that we really enjoyed, and it's not, we didn't have a restaurant meal there, but we really enjoyed eating the donuts at the top of Pikes Peak.
Okay, so everybody tells us, it's like, listen, if you're going to be on the top of Pikes Peak, they have that little gift store at the top. They also have a little cafe, and their donuts are like the best. Something about the altitude.
Right. It's a cake donut.
It's a cake donut.
I don't eat a lot of cake donuts.
I like cake donuts.
I know you do. And you and Kyle.
A plain cake donut I love.
Well, and these, I don't know what the flavoring was in it, but I felt like a hint of cinnamon was in them, but not.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
I don't
know.
All
I know is they were fresh and hot.
And they have that like crispiness on the outside, right, and a nice moist on the inside. I have to admit,
it was unique. Because first of all, I love Krispy Kreme. Mm-hmm. So this was totally not like Krispy Kreme, but I got it fresh. They just dumped them up there.
Hot as a potato.
It was, but they were so stinking good. And, we got enough and split them with the girls, and it could have been good because we were all starving.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's because the donuts were good.
Oh, they were pretty good. I liked them. In fact, we even talked about bringing it because Charlie couldn't come up with it because he's got asthma. And so does Donna. No, Donna doesn't.
No, but she was having a lot of trouble with altitude.
She was having yeah. So they couldn't come up there with us. So we thought about bringing one down there, but they have these plastic like to-go bags.
Right. If it was paper, we might have tried it, but they were so hot and we were afraid they'd steam.
Yeah.
While we were trying to get them down the hill. We didn't want them to get a soggy donut. Then it's not going to be good.
It's not going to be any good.
So we didn't take them one down, but they're really good. So give them a try. I think we bought 6 donuts for like $5.
Yes.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
And, they're regular sized donuts. They're not minis or anything like that.
Well, you know what? We stopped halfway on the Pikes Peak. There was this like gift store with a restaurant, and Glen Cove is the name of the little stop off. It's that place where they check your brakes and make sure when you come back down, it's like, are they overheating, mister? And we actually saw that there's, which I wish we'd known, there was a cafe at that little gift shop, and I actually took a picture of the actual menu.
Yeah, we didn't even notice the cafe part until we were on our way out, right?
Yeah.
And at that point we were in a hurry because we had taken more than double the time that we had planned.
I felt so sorry. Okay, tell them about what happened to us when we went up.
Okay, first of all, Mom and Charlie, we were leaving them for the day, well, not for the day, just for a couple hours while we went up Pikes Peak. Mm-hmm. Well, we were not quite all the way to the top. And we looked at the time, and our couple hours was already past.
Oh, yeah.
We had stopped and took pictures, and we were oohing and on, and frankly, you take your time going up that place because it is a little intimidating.
Well, and on top of that, they say it's wise to take your time because
you need
altitude.
To stop. Right, and if you watch any of our videos we're going to put up, you'll hear me. I sound like a nag, but I'm telling you, I had a really bad experience when I was a kid, and I got really sick when we went up Pikes Peak.
Right.
So I had a little bit of a phobia that I was going to get sick again, and I was a little afraid that I was going to get absolutely petrified when we got up real high.
Right.
Because I went through both when I was little, and that's all I could really remember about Pikes Peak. Mm-hmm. So I remind Steve a lot about stopping him about his speed.
That was, you know what?
With love.
The funny thing is, at the time you're listening, it's like, okay, that's Sandy. She's doing her thing, and she's worried, and I try to listen to her. But when you listen to the audio or the video, or you watch it,
funny.
You're going like, oh wow, these two people are so married.
Yeah.
They're so married. Okay, so I got those. So it's the Cove Cafe. Now, we talked about how, and we learned that when you're going up to higher altitude, such as Pikes Peak,
right?
They say it's wise to stop and take it slow and ease your way up to it. And they even suggested you eat and drink lots of water.
Yeah, we didn't eat much.
No, and that's just it. And they had a cafe it's called the Cove Cafe. It's in Glen Cove, and it's that shopping center that we just mentioned.
Not shopping center.
Gift store. Sorry.
Right.
A gift store up there. And they have all kinds of stuff. They have this really nice little, they have little combo sandwiches, cheeseburgers, chicken sandwiches, hot dog combos. And the prices seem, they're reasonable. I mean,
we should have went in there and got something.
We really should have ate there, especially for lunch.
Yeah, because we were starved.
Because they had like coffee, they have hot cocoa, they have cappuccinos, bottled water, soda, Gatorade. They even have meals like chicken baskets, chicken noodle soup, chili. I mean,
so plan accordingly, folks.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to give you prices on here because they could be changing and then they may raise them or something like that or do whatever they do. So anyway, make a long story. And there's plenty of seating that you can even sit outside and look at the mountains and stuff like that. It was really a very beautiful location. Just gorgeous.
The other place another place we haven't mentioned yet that we really enjoyed was actually where we were the very first night we were there.
Oh yeah, Rockyard Brewing Company.
And we were starving and we didn't want to go very far.
Okay, so.
And then we started talking to Charlie about where we wanted to go eat.
Yeah.
And he was exhausted.
Yeah,
and it was late.
Yeah.
And he says, somewhere I can have soup.
Yeah, he's so late. I just want some soup. I just want to put something in my stomach and go to bed.
And we're going, somewhere you can have soup?
Yeah.
We're going to find a place that you can have soup.
Mm-hmm.
So we started looking and it was hard.
Yeah, it was very difficult.
But luckily, Rockyard Brewing Company was on your list that you had already researched.
Yeah.
And we actually couldn't get their site to bring up the menu, but we went and we talked on our phones. We went and talked to one of the lovely ladies at our hotel.
Right.
And she brought it up on their computer. Right. And lo and behold, they had soup.
Okay, now Rockyard Brewing Company, it's based upon these guys, they did a microbrewery, right? This is before they actually had a restaurant. They won all kinds of awards, for like 18 years, I guess, for 18 years straight, I think is what she said. And, they said, you know what, we're going to open a restaurant and, good gravy, Miss Maisie. I'm having all kinds of, this is a wild website, by the way. By the way, go to the rockyard.com website on your computer. Don't try it on your phone. It is a pretty stinking cool website. I'm scrolling through the website and it looks like you're looking at a conveyor belt of all the products that they have. It's just very interactive. I love it. Okay, so, you can go there and you can look at what they've brewed, their IPAs, their pale ales, whatever it may be, and they also introducing the Prima Donna, which I tried while I was there, and it is a German Pilsner, and it was absolutely delicious.
Well, I know I thought that it was a really nice color, and I told you it had good flavor. I'm not a beer drinker, so no, I wouldn't sit down with a whole beer. But I thought it had pretty decent flavor also. Yeah,
it was wow. It was really good. They got the World Beer Cup of 2018. It's a golden award. It's German style Pilsner. And it's called the Prima Donna. If you go there, try it. You won't be disappointed. Two Tenderfoot Tourist Podcast is sponsored by Insurers of America.
Insurers of America is committed to being at the forefront of technology and providing the best possible customer experience in the insurance industry. Regardless of how big, small, unique, or specific your insurance needs, Insurers of America has a policy for you and tops it all off with exceptional personalized care. They enjoy giving you the peace of mind that comes with knowing your insurance agency can help you. Become a part of a family at Insurers of America today.
Also sponsored by Classic Rock Coffee Company is locally owned and started right here in Southwest Missouri.
Don't let the name fool you. You don't have to like rock and roll to enjoy Classic Rock Coffee Company. But it couldn't hurt. Regardless of your favorite pick-me-up, Classic Rock Coffee Company has got you covered. Traditional drinks, flavored drinks, protein shakes, hot teas, and smoothies. Are you hungry? They've got great coffee and a great menu. Yes, they serve food too. That even includes keto. There are so many drinks to choose from. What are our favorites? Well, for me, anything chai. My absolute favorite is the Cheesecake Chai Tea Frappe.
And mine is a toss-up between two frappes. The Mocha Coca and the Sweet Emotion made with chocolate and caramel are both off the hook. Classic Rock Coffee Company is located at 1230 U.S. Highway 60 in Republic, Missouri.
Let them know the Two Tenderfoot Tourists sent you and get a special discount. And now, back to the podcast.
I actually tried something there at the Rock Garden, which, by the way, the prices there at the Rockyard Brewing Company in Castle Rock. It's in Castle Rock. We didn't mention where this place is at, did we?
I don't think we did.
No, because this is right south. We stayed at the Comfort Suites.
We could have walked down to it.
And we could have walked just fine to it. The altitude, however, made things a little difficult to
We could have walked
maneuver.
down to it without a problem. Walking back, we would have thought we were dying.
Yeah, because gravity was not on our side going back.
Yeah, the altitude.
Plenty of parking. But the area it's wow. Castle Rock is really nice, by the way.
It is. Well, I mean, the kids mentioned it several times. I mean, you have a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old, and they're like, "This is the nicest city.
It was really
We
nice.
love this city," and they love the fact that it was like surrounded by countryside and mountains.
Mm-hmm.
It was like this little entity of its own, and you had to travel to get to another one.
Right.
They loved that about it.
The idea behind staying at Castle Rock was trying to find a central location that we could drive to Colorado Springs, Estes Park, all those areas that we were wanting to look at.
Right.
And then return back to our hotel without feeling like that, well, we just went on another train. You know what I mean? We trekked for hours on
Right.
end. So consider staying in Castle Rock if you have plans on doing stuff in Denver, which is only 30 minutes north, and then you have like 45 minutes down to Colorado Springs. It's like
Right.
it's a real small jaunt down there. And then,
And there's a lot to do around there.
oh gosh,
Colorado Springs, there is a lot to do.
it's 2 hours to Estes Park from there as well. So
Right.
I feel like that's important to mention.
I do want to warn you, make sure that you have lots of ideas of things to do, and there aren't a ton of things to do if it's raining.
Right.
If you want things to do when it's raining, you pretty much go to Denver and go to museums and stuff, which you end up, it costs money.
Yeah.
So you just do need to prep for that, just in case.
Exactly. And so, but we were talking about, Rockyard Brewing Company.
Yes, and by the way, our service was so good there.
Jennifer was the one that was
Yeah,
our server.
Our server was
super
Jennifer,
good.
and then later we also went back because we bought shirts, because we do that. That's one of our things.
Yeah.
We usually pick a restaurant we've really enjoyed and get a shirt from it. We went back and the manager was there, and I felt terrible. I cannot remember what her name was.
No, I can't.
And
either.
she was so awesome. She took us back to the storage area for the shirts and got out different shirts for us to see if they would fit and if we liked them.
Well, they said that they were cycling out those particular shirts, and
Right,
they
they're
were
bringing in new product.
exactly. We had a hard time finding something in our size and
Right,
something
because
that
we're
actually,
fat.
because we're fat. But what did I end up getting?
You actually ended up getting one of the uniform shirts.
I did.
They said they do sell them, but they're really cool looking.
It was a black with the short sleeves, and then in white they have like the Rockyard Brewing Company
On
and
the front, and then they have an emblem on the back.
It looked awesome.
It's a cool looking shirt.
It is. And I go, you sell very many of these? He goes, no, we hardly ever do we
But
ever
we do sell them.
Yeah, we do sell them from time to time. In fact, when we went up to the front counter to buy it, the lady that was helping us out had to call the manager back in order to find it 'cause she couldn't find it in the computer.
Yeah, it's funny.
So anyway, make a long story short, excellent restaurant,
Right.
Great atmosphere, well worth your time especially if you're in Castle Rock or in Denver even.
Yeah, that night when we first got there and we ate there, I got what did I get?
Oh, you had the roast beef. You put the dip.
French dip.
Yep, French dip.
That's what it's called.
That's what it is.
That was a good sandwich, and there was lots of meat on it. It was delicious, and you had a portobello
Cheeseburger, right? Portobello
sandwich. What was it called?
It was a burger.
Portobello burger.
Yeah, cheeseburger.
It's where you have a portobello mushroom instead of hamburger meat.
Okay, so she looked at me funny because I'm a big guy with a big red beard and all that stuff, and I kind of look like I should be a lumberjack.
He doesn't look like he eats healthy.
Yeah, she expected me to give me a steak and give me a beer, and I'm good. I was like, yeah, I'd like the portobello cheeseburger, please. She looked at me like I'm like, it's like, what planet did you fall from?
Yeah, but it was tasty.
Oh my goodness, I love a portobello mushroom. I love them. Oh my goodness.
They're so juicy.
We've actually made burger buns out of portobello mushrooms.
Yeah, we actually had actual burgers and used the portobello mushrooms as buns,
Messy.
and we grilled them just slightly.
Mm-hmm.
When you heat a mushroom, all of a sudden the moisture pops out and they are like a mess. And I remember me and you and Sean eating these things, and the liquid is just running down our arms, down to our elbows. It was such a mess, but it was so good.
So good.
Anyway, we're getting off track. Their food at Rockyard was incredible.
It was very good. I was very happy with their food, their service, and everything was really, really good. But it's not That's Italian.
No. Have we mentioned Dad's Italian?
I don't think, have we? Maybe.
I think we might.
Maybe we should play that commercial.
That's Italian.
Okay. We've talked about all these good things, and normally we just kind of leave it alone and move on when we have a bad experience. But we want to give an actual review for one that we had a terrible time at.
Yeah, I think it's worthy of mentioning that just because we had this bad experience doesn't mean necessarily that it is a place that you should never go to.
Right.
It's just our opinion.
Right. Part of it is our preferences, but we feel like we went to a Mexican-themed Chuck E. Cheese.
Really? Yeah.
It was that chaotic.
It was absolute chaos.
And it was just craziness. And I want to say a good thing first.
Okay. Say the good things.
The decor was really incredible. And it
was
made me
amazing.
think of going to restaurants in Disney or Universal.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Floor to ceiling decor. It was really incredible.
Sensory overload.
Yes.
It was sensory overload.
That being said, that's my only good thing I can say.
Okay, if you ever asked me what sort of food I enjoy the most, I mean, as opposed to you got Chinese and you got Mexican, what is the one I always say?
You like Mexican.
Hands down. Every single time. If ever asked, it's like, I want to go eat Mexican. Yours is Chinese.
I love Chinese food. If it's at my one place, China Walk in Springfield, it's my favorite.
China Walk, visit it. It's worth it.
It's a little hole in the wall, which you know how we feel about hole in the walls.
Their orange chicken is awesome, and so is their general chicken. Oh my goodness.
Okay, back on topic, though.
I'm sorry. We're talking about Casa Bonita in Denver, Colorado.
Right, and guys, if you hear this and you're offended, fix it. Because seriously, it was a rough experience. First of all, we walked in and we were in line. And we were like, oh, okay, it's probably just opening. As we got up closer, we see this guy at a podium at the far end of the line.
We didn't know. We've never.
And we're totally confused.
Yeah, you know what it kind of reminds me of? Sort of like Golden Corral or something similar to, but quite different.
It still reminds me of going to Universal or Disney.
Yeah.
And trying to get food. But they didn't do it well.
Right.
We had to go up to the guy at the podium.
Right.
And order our food. And
after following a maze in through the entire building.
Nobody back through there to explain what was going to happen. Yeah. So we hadn't even looked at the menu yet.
No signs.
So we're like, we're sorry, and felt terrible. And we look on there and there's no senior prices or anything. And we ask him about senior price and he goes, well, they can buy off the kids menu too. That's all we have. Yeah,
he was very blunt and rude.
And when we asked questions, he was very short with us. He was very unfriendly.
Okay, and with that being said, I agree that he was very unfriendly and everything. But I can even look past that because that's one person.
Right, that's one person.
That's one person. He may be having a bad day.
After we get through the line, though, then we're in a new line to get food.
Right.
Winding through. Yep. You're up there and you see food sitting out all over the place and they're checking receipts.
Under heat lamps.
Right. And they check food and they hand you what you ordered.
Right. Already pre-made.
Keep in mind, now we're carrying trays of food.
Right.
We're serving ourselves. And I was like, hey, this is no big deal.
Yeah.
Now we go pick a table.
I feel sorry for anybody who is incapable of carrying their plates because of their trays.
I wasn't that worried at first because I thought we'll just run to a table real quick. Exactly. But I do have a torn tendon in my shoulder. It's a small tear, so it's not something to go repair or anything, but it can be quite painful. Well, then we go and we stand in another line.
On an incline, too.
On an incline, holding our trays of food, waiting for our turn for them to find us a table.
Right.
I'm at that point going, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But if we go sit down and our food's good, I'm good.
Right.
Okay, it may be picking up our dog snoring. This is hilarious.
Can you hear that? I'm going to keep it in there.
I hope he can hear it.
I do too.
He's really exhausted after us being gone.
He's really snoring hard.
He's snoring really hard. But after they finally started to get us seated, the girl just looked around, and you could tell she didn't think we were going to say it. But she goes, does anybody need help carrying their tray?
Finally, someone says, hey.
And I said, I do. I have a shoulder.
Yeah, you're about
problem.
to lose it.
Yeah, I was starting to struggle with how I positioned my
and
tray.
I couldn't help you.
Because you were holding your tray.
Yeah.
So she did grab my tray, and then they took us to a table. And we were crammed in a little table, all 6 of us.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. If I could take the mic off and put it down there, I would totally do it.
I bet we could. Is he snoring? He stopped. He's a microphone. Is that as far down as you can go? He's not going to snore anymore, is he?
This sucks. Aw, he's so loud when he snores. I'm putting it back.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yes.
Does that work?
Okay, now I'm recording.
Okay, we finally, like we said, we get seated.
Crammed in a hole.
Yeah, I mean tight. We're elbow to elbow. And we look over, and Mom and Charlie's food is on a little plastic plate, tiniest portions you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And instead of being hot, it's room temperature.
Right.
Because it was from the kids' menu.
Right.
So they're, like we said, the ones that always get the bad end of the deal.
Yeah, and the thing is okay. The size and the portions you get for the amount of money that you spend, I thought was a little much. I mean, we paid $14, $15 a plate or something like that.
At least, yeah.
And I'm like, why am I was like, for that amount of money, I would think that we would actually get some more food than that. But
yes.
Olivia pointed out, it's like, well, you get the dinner and the show.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. Let's finish the food part. The food was just
mediocre.
par. It was not. I can't brag on it.
I can't brag on it either.
We ate it because we were hungry.
Yeah,
and we paid it.
It was raining outside at the time. We just got done panning for gold, and which is another thing we're going to bring up later in another episode.
But the food was not good, and when you have all 6 people say that was not good, then the food was not good.
It was not good. And then, you know what? I have to brag on the girls because they were like, hey, it's okay, trying to look on the positive, because they could see that I was getting angry. And
trying to offer money too, because they realized how expensive it was. Mm-hmm. And they were so great. I have to say they were wonderful.
No, tell them about the part of the bad experience for your mother.
Okay.
The food was room temperature for one.
Keep in mind, the rude guy at the beginning.
Yeah.
Their limited menu.
Yep. And the amount they were paying.
And it was expensive for what they got.
Yeah.
Their portions were lousy. Their food was cold. She opens her silverware, and there was a dirty fork. Now, it wasn't smeared. There were chunks on it. Mm-hmm. It was clearly dirty. So they have this little flag system. You raise your flag
at the table.
It just sits on the table. You raise your flag to the top of the little pole. Your server sees it, and they come and help you. She finally came. Mm-hmm. It was very busy. She shows her. She goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Hands her another thing of silverware and just takes off. She doesn't wait to see if everything's okay. She doesn't do anything. She takes off. My mom opens her silverware, and it's a dirty fork again.
Again, strike 2.
With chunks on it.
Yep.
So we raise the flag again. She comes over again, says, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe this. I'm so sorry." She hands her a new pack and takes off again.
Yep.
She opens her silverware, and there were chunks on her fork.
Strike 3.
We raise the flag again.
Mm-hmm.
She comes over. We tell her, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, this is crazy." And she leaves, and she goes and gets her silverware, and she stood there finally on 4th try and watched her open it to make sure it was clean.
Right.
Never offered to try to do anything to rectify the situation. It was a mess.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
There was no like, okay, we're sorry, we're embarrassed this happened, it shouldn't have happened. We will take X amount off your bill because of it. I mean, that was like 3 tries.
Right. Frankly, I mean, at this point, not the whole table necessarily, but I would have offered her meal free.
I agree.
If I were management, and I have been in charge in some places that I've worked, I would have given her meal free.
Yeah.
It was a ridiculous experience.
It was really deplorable.
We
I don't
call
know
it
any other word to say. It's just deplorable.
we call it a Mexican themed Chuck E. Cheese because there was a game area, there was souvenirs you could buy, there was little tunnel type things you could walk through.
Yeah.
And then there was a show that went on, and it was very little kid oriented, very loud, but you couldn't understand what they were saying unless you were up close.
The audio, you couldn't hear anything that they were saying. They had this big pool with a waterfall, and
Right.
and the characters would interact, which we couldn't understand the story or what was going on, and the one of the characters would fall into it, hazardly, fell into the
Right.
pool. And this one hunter guy would run after this ape that was running around between the tables and stuff like that.
We did not have a good experience with it.
It was just didn't make any sense to me.
Maybe if you were sitting in a better spot and had small children, maybe it would have been better, but flat out the food wasn't good.
That right there. Okay. Service was horrid.
Yeah.
The food was below subpar.
Yeah, it was not good.
It was not good, and it ruined me for Mexican food for I don't know how long. I mean, I saw Mexican food signs since then, and I'm like, I don't even want to look at anything Mexican right now.
It made us just tense up even. It's so frustrating. Steve usually can really kind of blow things off and move on. He was still angry after we left, after paying that much for our food. It was worse than when we went to Margaritaville and Myrtle Beach, because we were disappointed with the amount we spent there.
At least Margaritaville, you can say, the atmosphere.
The service was good too.
The service was good. The atmosphere, it was amazing atmosphere, but the food was not that good.
No.
It was, Casa Bonita, the food was below not good.
And you didn't get served.
And you didn't get served.
I mean, you
and
had
then
to
they
take
were
care of
expecting
yourself.
a tip.
Yeah, and it was just not.
It
was an ugly situation.
Whoever thought of this business model is screwy.
That being said, these are our preferences.
Opinions and preferences, yes.
So, do with that information what you like.
Yeah, we're probably going to get some hate mail for that one.
We could.
We'll bring them to you and tell you what they say.
So do you want to move on and talk about our hotel a little bit?
Yeah, you know what? We've talked about food and and we still have to talk about the different locations, of course, outside of the hotel. And we're going to bring those to you because basically we're running out of time on our episode. But one of the things that we want to bring to you is many of the locations that we had visited, such as the Colorado Springs area, Old Colorado City, Golden, Colorado, Estes Parks, Manitou Springs, Arapahoe Bar Grill, Panning Park, Lookout Mountain, Pikes Peak, Ridge Trail Road, Rocky Mountain National Park. We have so much that we want to talk about, and we couldn't possibly fit it all in there, and I don't think we'd do it justice by trying to fit it all in one episode.
And I got a question.
What's that?
Did we mention That's Italian?
That's Italian.
I think so.
Okay, just making sure. I want to make sure we mentioned That's Italian.
Yes. We love you guys. Dennis, Joanne. We love you.
You're family now.
You are family. You continue cooking like that, you're going to see me. You're going to see yourself in my will. I want you to cater my funeral.
Okay, that's just weird.
The place is so good. I almost want to be buried there into the floor.
Did you hear Olivia after eating there? She wanted to move there and work for them.
Oh.
She's like, this place is wonderful. I want to work here.
I just want to work here.
I made jokes. She said it at the table, and I made jokes. I said, you can't eat here. I mean, you can't work here. You're not Italian.
That's right.
And then I saw them interviewing some people when they left. I said, you can work here and not be Italian. You might be able to make it.
You might be able to do this. You might be able to do that. Yeah, they were interviewing people right behind our table, and it was kind of fun to listen to them interview.
It was.
Yeah, I just love that place. Okay, that's Italian. So we're talking about Comfort Inn.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so Comfort Inn, Comfort Suites, not Comfort Inn. Comfort Suites in Castle Rock, Colorado. Now, the reason why they call it Castle Rock, if you're not from around here, if you've never been there, they have this mountain plateau type of thing that kind of looks like a castle. It kind of reminds me, what, Devil's Tower is what it kind of reminds me of.
Right, a smaller version of it,
just
maybe.
A smaller version
but
of it.
Off in the distance, it looks kind of like a castle. And they've named it Castle Rock. It's been that way for a long time.
Right. And it seems and it feels like a newer town. It looks like it exploded overnight with new businesses.
And I don't know how old the town is, but all I know is the people that live there are so stinking nice.
Oh yeah, I had a great time. Like when we went down there for the continental breakfast, which by the way is pretty good. They had like a woman down there who was attending the food and everything, and I talked to her for probably a good 20 minutes, and she was super sweet. Sorry, I don't remember your name. I should have took it down. We do that too much.
The ladies and the young man that worked up front, they were exceptional.
Oh, very good at their job.
We can't brag enough on them. We enjoyed talking to them, joking with them.
Especially whenever you're looking for advice, because the one woman that I talked to, she'd been there since 1977, and she said she was very informative because we were talking about the rain that was coming in. She goes, listen, if there's any chance of rain, it's going to ruin your day. Because it's like it doesn't do anything subtle around there. It just comes on there.
Yeah, if they
really
give you a
hard
chance of rain, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. So we were trying to decide what we can do, and she gave us some very good advice, I thought. Utilize those people down there if you decide to stay there at the Comfort Inn. They're very professional. They're very good at their job, and you know what? We got what we needed. Exactly what we needed was clean and safe, and we've felt like we've hit both of them.
Well, and I want to brag on how they are about other things too. For instance, Mama Charlie's room had the refrigerator that didn't work properly. Didn't close properly.
That's a good example.
And we thought, well, we won't have a refrigerator in their room on this trip. That's a bummer, and we moved on. We told them about it, but we moved on. The second day there, they had somebody come in and fix that refrigerator.
Oh yeah.
So then they could use their refrigerator.
Yeah.
They really did try to take care of us.
They did, and you know what? Thank you, everyone. In fact, we liked them so much by taking care of us. What we did is the morning that we were leaving, we went and got them donuts.
Yep, we told them we wanted to thank them for what a great job they did for us, and honestly, I don't know that we've ever had that many friendly people in one hotel before. We've had good experiences with some hotels,
right?
Like the C-Class Towers, they were great with us too.
Oh man, they were really good.
But everybody we ran into that worked there, everybody in that stinking town that we talked to was friendly. Really
super friendly. I mean, we'd be at the Walmart checkout, and people who were just standing in line with us just strike up a conversation.
Yeah, and they ask you, they're like, "Where are you from?" And they want to know what you're going to do.
Right. Yeah.
And some of them, they'll start telling you ideas.
Yep.
And other ones will go, really? I didn't know that.
I know.
And we're going, do you live here?
Yeah.
And usually, actually, if you give them the look of, do you live here? They usually go, well, I just moved. Like this one lady said, well, I used to live in New York and then I moved here.
Oh, yeah. I remember her.
So we're going, so you probably don't know everything about Colorado.
Right. Yes. So, okay. You know what? We covered so much ground just in this episode alone. I think we can wrap it up.
I agree.
So
I think it's a good time to break, and we will have to say more in our next episode.
Yeah. Let me see. Now, if you guys have any other restaurant recommendations in Colorado Springs or the Denver or Castle Rock or any one of those places that we mentioned on this podcast or any future podcast, if you hear something, you got a recommendation, why don't you shoot us an email at tenderfoottourist@gmail.com or find us on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. And, you know what? Let us know what you think of in fact, if you've attended some of the, or ate at some of these restaurants we mentioned, let us know what you thought of it. Tell us we're wrong or tell us, that was awesome. If you're interested in, following us, if this is the first time you ever heard one of our, podcasts, we're easy to find. Just simply subscribe on, Podbean is the best place to find us because you can actually interact with us in the actual podcast, and you can like and favorite your favorite episodes of ours.
Please leave a review.
And leave us a review. You can also find us on iTunes and anywhere else that podcasts are found. You can find Two Tenderfoot Tourists. And you know what? This has been an excellent episode.
It has.
Next week, I'm thinking that maybe we can talk about the locations, maybe, or maybe
the destinations. Yeah, the sites that we saw. I think talking about the sites that we saw is the greatest idea.
Okay, so
I'm so excited to share with them.
So if you come back to us, you're going to hear something about Pikes Peak, Ridge Trail Road, Manitou Cliff Dwellings. We're also going to hear a little bit about Donna's, Sandy's mom's, childhood home in Golden, Colorado.
Right.
Stanley Hotel and the Ghost Tour. That's our first one. That's a bucket list.
bucket list.
Yeah, that's off the bucket list. So check that off. Buffalo Bill grave and museum and
that's not right.
Buffalo Bill.
Oh, Buffalo Bill, Cody. Yeah, you're right. I'm flipping them. I'm doing what?
Don't say Wild Bill.
That's not right. You'll
That's
get corrected.
And then,
Steve.
Yes. And I felt so dumb. I was like, are you serious? I can't believe I did that.
Yes.
You know?
Buffalo Bill, Cody.
There's a difference. People, there's a big difference. Okay, so, and then Garden of the Gods.
Yes.
This is what you're going to hear next time. So
we
come
saw
back
a lot
to
of
us.
beautiful things.
So looking forward to bringing this episode to you. Okay, so this is episode 49, the one about
Colorado. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. I'm Steve.
And I'm Sandy.
Until next time.
Stay tender.
Wow, what a really good episode. We hope you enjoyed listening to it just as much as we liked re-listening to it too. And also doing it. And also going on the trip. That was wonderful.
It was so fun.
It was. And highly recommend you guys listening to the other episodes because we cover all different types of subjects. Stanley Hotel, the top of Pikes Peak. We cover everything.
Ridge Trail Road, which was incredible.
Gold panning.
Oh, yeah. Panning for gold. That was amazing. And with an 80-some-year-old man, too. So that is so cool.
Yeah. So we cover a lot of ground in Colorado on the next 2 episodes. So go back and listen to those.
It will not be a waste of time.
No, guaranteed. And with that being said, you know what? Thank you so much for listening to episode 71.
The one about the best of 2 Tenderfoot Tourists, 2018.
I love that. I'm Steve.
And I'm Sandy.
Until next time.
Stay tender. Hey, Steve, where are you?
I'm back here getting organized. We've been a bit overwhelmed lately.
You know, you're right. Maybe it's time we take a little break for the holidays.
You know, I was thinking that. I think for the month of December, maybe we should play our most popular episodes.
I think that's a great idea. I mean, they liked them once.
It's true. They like them. They'll like them again. Yeah, they have nothing to worry about because we'll jump right back in January.
I think it's a plan.
I think it's a definite plan.
You get right on that. I'm going to go bake you some cookies.
Ooh, Andy's mint chocolate chip?
Okay.
Oh.